Hi, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining. Can I get a green check if you can hear me? Seeing a few green checks, that's looking good. I'll go ahead and clear those. Thank you for joining us for this session of the K-12 Blackboard Innovative Teaching Series. The K-12 Blackboard Innovative Teaching Series is designed to help K-12 educators reimagine K-12 education with Blackboard's teaching and learning solutions. The K-12 Blackboard Innovative Teaching Series harnesses the power of our K-12 community of academic leaders, teachers, and other experts to provide relevant, real-time, on-demand, and ongoing professional development opportunities for educators. My name is Katie Gallagher, and I'm the Director of Solutions Marketing for Teaching and Learning in K-12, and I'll be serving as the moderator for the K-12 Blackboard Innovative Teaching Series. A big thank you to Jenny Brycer from our field marketing team, as well as Melissa Mares, our product marketing intern this spring, for helping us out and helping us moderate the sessions throughout the spring. We're always open to new ideas for topics, so let us know if you have an interest in presenting for a future session. You can always email me at katie.gallagher@blackboard.com. Did we advance? Okay. Each webinar in the series will be recorded. You can search the K-12 Blackboard Innovative Teaching Series on our Blackboard TV YouTube channel, or you can go to tinyurl.com/bitsK12 to get to the playlist for the entire series. And you'll receive the recording and the presentation slides in the form of a PDF in a few days, at least within the week, and an invitation to participate in an online professional learning community that's designed to augment the series and create an avenue for ongoing dialogue. So please be sure to accept that invitation and participate. As you can see, we have a number of upcoming exciting sessions to round out this spring. Join us again on Friday with our own Dr. Misty Cobb from our K-12 Solutions Engineering team, who will be presenting methods for encouraging academic honesty. So we're really excited to have 2 sessions this week, and we hope you can join us. If you haven't done so already, be sure to get the free BBK12 Live app on your phone so you can access these sessions and other great on-demand professional development content through your phone or mobile device. We wanted to take the time to be sure this group is aware that Blackboard World is taking place this summer from July 21st to the 23rd in Washington, D.C., and we hope to see you there. The call for proposals is still open for a few more days, so if you haven't submitted, be sure to do so or get registered for the conference right away. Crystal Poland, we're really pleased to have her here with us today, who's going to share with us about virtual peer tutoring at North Carolina Virtual School. The NCVPS Peer Tutoring Center is a student-run organization that provides peer tutoring and other virtual support services to students across the state of North Carolina. The 60-plus student volunteers that staff the PTC use collaborative tools such as Blackboard Instant Messenger, Blackboard Collaborate, Blogspot, email, and texting to connect and engage with students with their academic learning. The PTC benefits students by providing content-specific support in the form of peer tutoring, but our services go beyond tutoring. They also offer virtual buddies as a support system for unmotivated students or those who are unprepared for online learning. Through the use of encouragement, gentle reminders, and assistance with time management and acquisition of study skills, their Virtual Buddies program helps students overcome obstacles that prevent students from engaging in their course content. The PTC also publishes a blog, Tutor Talk, which focuses on how to be a successful, well-rounded student. The PTC volunteers are actively engaged in all aspects of the organization's operations. By allowing their student volunteers opportunities for leadership and real-world experience in teaching, blogging, and marketing, the PTC takes its volunteers well beyond the classroom. So we're very excited to learn about this today. Crystal Pullen is a longtime virtual educator with 14 years experience teaching career technical education. She began working with NCVPS as an instructor in 2007 and as a research development innovation specialist in 2008. In 2009, she collaborated on the creation of the North Carolina Virtual Public Schools Peer Tutoring Center. So we're pleased to have Crystal with us today. And Crystal, I'll ask you to introduce your peer tutors that are joining us today as well. So thank you so much, everyone. We want to keep the session engaging and interactive, so please use the chat, raise your hand, unmute yourself to talk. But when you're not speaking, if you could mute your line so that we can preserve the quality of the recording, we'd appreciate that. Thanks so much, and with that, I'll hand it over to you, Crystal.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction. Hearing all of that come out just really gets my heart beating faster again about our Peer Tutoring Center. I am one of the instructional leaders for the Peer Tutoring Center, and today we've brought with us one of our peer tutors, Annie. Annie has been with us for about 2 years. She came to us to tutor and has moved on to take on several other roles as well. There are a couple of things that I really want to stress about this presentation and the point of me being here to share with you guys today, the real main takeaways. The Peer Tutoring Center is unique, but it is completely reproducible anywhere. And it doesn't have to cost any more money than your school system or your program is currently spending to use these Blackboard tools. The benefits that are available to the teacher that's using the student program, to the students who are using the program to get the tutoring that they need, and to the volunteers like Annie, the program to all of these people are absolutely priceless. We began the Peer Tutoring Center about 6 years ago, and at that time NCVPS had a need for peer tutoring, but like most school systems had no funds to put to a new effort or new endeavor that may or may not bear any fruit. So with 10 volunteers in 10 subjects and 2 teachers volunteering to man this operation, we began what has since become this amazing, unique, statewide program that has helped countless number of students. Let's see, we've got a hand raised here. Okay, I'm not seeing anybody. If you do have any questions as we go along, you can type it there in the text chat. Annie's going to help me to monitor that, and if you have any questions or comments that you'd like to add, you can always raise your hand and I'll be happy to call on you. But in the 6 years that we've been working with the Peer Tutoring Center, we've moved from the 10 volunteers in the 10 courses to upwards of 60 volunteers tutoring in all NCVPS courses. And we've got some numbers there that might really get you interested in what this kind of program could do for you. In the fall of 2014, we were down to only 47 volunteers, but during that last semester, those tutors logged 3,429 hours. 118 unique students were tutored during that time, and we had 39 students assigned to virtual buddies, which I'll tell you about in just a little bit. These are 3,400 hours that were volunteered by students, helping other students across the state. Now, not only were these tutors engaged in supporting students with their tutoring, they were engaged in all aspects of the Peer Tutoring Center leadership. And that's the real engagement idea behind the Peer Tutoring Center for our volunteers. We don't compensate them monetarily, but we do give them experience using the different learning management systems. We give them experience in tutoring and teaching using tools like Blackboard, Collaborate, and the Instant Messenger, things that they wouldn't have experience with otherwise. I want to stress this is a student-run organization. All of the decisions that have been made, all of the growth that we've experienced since our conception has been based on our tutors. And that includes the creation of our new services. Back in 2009, when we first started, the only service that we offered was peer tutoring. And you guys understand what peer tutoring it is. It's a student of similar age, similar grade level, offering one-on-one support. This is content specific, where a French tutor is helping a French student, where an English 4 student is helping an English 4 student. Well, we did that for a couple of semesters, and then when the data started to come in, our tutors were reporting back to us, hey, Ms. Pullen, you know, the tutoring is working, but I'm seeing a lot of things that go beyond the content of the course. Some of the students that they're working with couldn't even manage to get to the content because of other barriers. Lack of time management, lack of study skills, lack of organizational skills, things like that. Things that needed to be addressed before the kids could even get to the content. And so our tutors came up with the idea of the Virtual Buddy program, where we match students one-on-one with a peer tutor to get those organizational skills, those time management skills that they were lacking, to help them get prepared for the content so that then the peer tutor could come in. Well, we ran the 2 programs for a few semesters, the peer tutoring and the Virtual Buddy. And we had some more tutors that came to us and said, Ms. Pullen, you know, at the beginning of the semester, students don't even know what they don't know yet. They can't even get into the content because of questions about the learning management system. They have questions about NCVPS policies. They don't know how to get in touch with their instructor. They just don't know how to work the virtual environment. So they decided we need another service. And we titled that Quick Questions, where any student could come and ask any of our tutors these questions. Things about how to log into their course, what to do if they submit an assignment that they realize wasn't correctly done. Annie, go ahead.
Hi, I just wanted to say something because I can't stay for too long. I'm a junior in high school and I have SAT tutoring I'm going to need to get to. But I just wanted to say that this program has been a really, really great experience for me. And I know that, you know, Ms. Pullen is going to go into a lot more depth about how these different programs have helped the students. But I feel like it's a really, really great way to bring, to make the online learning experience more personal, because it can be hard when you're sitting at a computer and you're, you know, talking with the teachers and you're trying to communicate as much as you can, but it can be very hard. And I feel like being both a student and then later a tutor, it's, you know, really great to see how really being able to talk with people one-on-one and help them really allows them to get more out of the course than they would otherwise. So I'll let Ms. Pullen continue. Sorry for interrupting, but I know I'm going to have to go pretty soon, so I just wanted to share my kind of support before I left. So yeah, that's all.
Thanks, Annie. Annie is one of our most superior peer tutors, and she does speak to the heart of the Peer Tutoring Center, making that personal connection. We're going to see some examples of how each one of these services play out in just a minute, and it shows you how the peer tutor can connect in ways even that the teachers can't in the virtual environment. Even after we set up our quick question services, there were still other things that our tutors wanted to do. We had one tutor who came to us, exceptional student, and she said, you know, I'm considering becoming an editor as a career. Could I possibly try out a blog just to see if I'm really good at this before I pursue it in college? And we said, absolutely. So one student decided to start our Tutor Talk blog, and it has blossomed into something absolutely incredible. And even beyond that, the next thing that came up, we had live Collaborate sessions just like we are in right now. When our tutors started to notice that they were getting students from the same courses asking the same questions, they said, you know, Ms. Pullen, wouldn't it be more effective for me to host the live session for all of the students for this class rather than addressing the issue one-on-one? So we've completely turned over the control and the growth of the Peer Tutoring Center to our tutors. And the career experience that they're getting here, the support that they're giving back, it goes in a cycle that helps everyone involved in the program. Before I go into detail about each one of our services, I want you to pay close attention to the slides, to the images and graphics that you're going to be seeing as we go through this presentation. These graphics were were created by one of our peer tutors. He came to us as a tutor, discovered his love of graphic design, and he has created everything that you're going to see, videos included. So keep in mind, as you see the images and the videos in the presentation, that these were created by one of our students. We're going to begin by talking about the peer tutoring, the heart of the Peer Tutoring Center. Peer tutoring primarily is taking place for us in Blackboard Collaborate's Instant Messenger. It is a powerful tool that many of you probably are already using within your basic course design and course layout. With that being said, this is a tool you have on hand to connect not only teachers with their students, but students with students. Not just students in one class, but students from all the classes can connect with students throughout your system. Harnessing that capability makes you able to use the knowledge base of all of your students to help the struggling students. One of the greatest things about Blackboard Instant Messenger is its ability to keep the chat logs saved. We use the saved chat logs in Blackboard Instant Messenger as a quality check for our tutoring sessions. At the end of each one of the tutoring sessions that occur in the Blackboard Instant Messenger, the tutor retrieves that saved chat log and sends it to one of the instructional leaders. We take a look at the quality of tutoring that's taking place. Just like the tutors, we're looking at the content of the session to see if we can draw any correlations between the sessions to better serve the students and the teachers. There are a couple of things that I really want to highlight to you guys about this particular transcript. And it's something that you're going to see in all of the transcripts that come through in CVPS. Now, to lay the groundwork for this, this is a chat log that occurred on a Saturday morning. And can you guys real quick just type in the text chat what your position is in your school system. Are you a teacher, an administrator, a facilitator, support? What is your role? Because I'm going to put you in the place of being a virtual teacher on a Saturday morning. A lot of virtual teachers are also teaching face-to-face. So imagine this teacher has been teaching face-to-face all day. She comes home, spends a little bit of time with her family, and then in the evening she spends time working in her course. She already knows she's going to be putting in a couple of hours on the weekend as well. But this is a Saturday morning at 11:30. This one student needs help. Deloise is the student here. Amanda is the peer tutor. Deloise, one student, comes in with a question about Algebra 2. Amanda immediately engages Deloise in a chat to help her figure out what the problem is and to understand the content. I want you to look across at the second column there and see the end time for the session. This session ended at 1:58. Now, honestly, you can type in the text chat or give me a check mark. How many of you would have 2.5 hours on a Saturday morning to help one student? I've been teaching virtually for, my goodness, 10 plus years altogether. And I can honestly say that even I, as dedicated as I am, would have a difficult time committing 2.5 hours on a Saturday morning to one student. That's one of the things that the Peer Tutoring Center can do. Those late night hours, those early morning hours, those Saturday morning hours where you are busy helping your 30, 40, 90 other students, where you're doing other things to support your virtual learners. We have peer tutors in place to spend that extra time. You know, we're humans, just like everybody else, and we've got a lot of responsibilities. Our peer tutors, this is what they're here for. They're here to dedicate this kind of time to that one student. All right? So besides the time, which is really, thanks Annie, which is really impressive, and this is typical of most of our tutoring sessions, I want you to notice here in the second column, Amanda has been working with Deloise on the problem. Deloise has come to the correct answer, but Amanda is not satisfied. Amanda wants to know why. She wants to make sure that Deloise understands how she came to that answer. Our tutors are trained. They go through intensive orientation and follow-up modules throughout the course of a semester to make sure that just like our teachers, They are teaching for understanding. They are not giving out answers. They're not leading the students to answers. They're leading the students to understanding. So consistently and constantly through this 2.5-hour session, Amanda is checking for understanding. Just like our teacher, she's giving praise and she's giving correction. You can see here in the left side, Amanda's also making full use of the Blackboard Collaborate Instant Messenger. They're going to be using the whiteboard feature of Blackboard Instant Messenger. They have the capability of using the video and the audio chat. I had a teacher who was just considering coming into online education a little while ago, and she said, you know, I'm not sure how I go about teaching one student one concept over and over and over online. How do you do that? Well, with Blackboard Instant Messenger, you have all of the tools that can, just as well as you being in a classroom standing beside a student working on a whiteboard together, you can do that in Blackboard Instant Messenger. And I have a video sample of that I'm going to show you in a little bit. The point here, though, guys, this kind of session, when you have 20 to 50,000 students like we do at NCVPS, 800 teachers, that's a lot of students to our teachers. Our peer tutors help to fill in those gaps with the same kind of quality that our teachers would give. They are trained to do this, and our training is a key element of how we're successful in the Peer Tutoring Center. The last part here that I want to draw your attention to is the bold text at the bottom. Along with Amanda sending in her chat log, she also indicated that she ended up setting up 3-time-a-week sessions with the student Deloise. So they made the instant connection with one tutoring session. Both parties felt the connection. Deloise then agreed to come 3 times a week for that tutoring. A lot of you may have experienced the benefits of peer tutoring in your face-to-face schools. I want to tell you that it works just as well, if not better, in an online environment. Some of the things that we've noticed, and let me go ahead and flip real quick. I want to show you a slide real quick. We've got it down here as our final slide. I want you to look at these faces. We've got peer tutors of all nationalities, different genders. We've got some of our students, 7th grade students tutoring in AP Calculus. Now I want you to picture that senior student who's trying to get through AP Calculus. How willing is that senior student going to be to sit next to a 7th grader and get the help that they need? That is one of the barriers that face-to-face peer tutoring has to deal with. We don't have to deal with that in our peer tutoring center. We can have our 7th grade students tutoring our 12th grade students, and no one is ever the wiser. There's a lot of issues that we don't have to deal with virtually that can even the playing field for these students. Now, I hope you guys can see the benefit of our straight-up tutoring. You guys know all about peer tutoring, I'm sure, from your own classrooms. But like I said, we're going to take it beyond peer tutoring in just a moment. This is one of our testimonials from a teacher, and you can read it yourself, but I'll summarize by saying that she had a student over the summer session. She worked with the student. She engaged another geometry teacher to work with the student, and the student still wasn't making the connection. She finally was able to get that student to work with a peer tutor. It was when the student began working with the peer tutor that connection was finally made. The student began to understand the content and ended up excelling in the course. So even after 2 teachers had done their best by the student, and I promise you these teachers had done everything they could, it was a peer that made the difference. We've got testimonial after testimonial that can show evidence of that. But again, sometimes the tutoring of the content is not enough. Sometimes there are things keeping the student from engaging in the content that are not content related. They can be the time management, the organizational skills, the lack of study skills. It could be that that student needs extra encouragement, extra motivation. At NCVPS, we're required to be in synchronous contact with our students at least every 2 weeks. Some students need encouragement and motivational support on a daily basis. Now I want you to imagine if you are teaching 90 students at one time, are you going to be able to provide direct, specific emotional, motivational support for every one of your students every day? Probably not. I mean, even our best teachers have limitations. But that's another one of the things that our peer tutors are doing with the virtual buddies. They are matched with students who can help support their needs, students who are experts at time management or have exceptional study skills. And they work together on a long-term basis throughout the entire semester or a year long if the course is year long. Our virtual buddies are getting the students prepared to deal with the content. So even before they reach the content, our virtual buddies are supporting them. I'm going to share with you just a real quick video. I'm going to pop the link into the text chat. If you'll just click on the link, it's going to open in another browser, and it's just going to give you a real quick video summary of what the Virtual Buddy program does for our students. Once you finish the video, come back to this classroom and click the check mark to let me know that you finished the video. And there's your link. So click the link, it'll open in another browser window. When you finish the video, come back and click your green check mark. Okay guys, I'm seeing a few check marks and my clock says that the video should be complete by now. That video not only gives you guys an introduction to what our Virtual Buddy program is, but it points to the promotional items that we create for the Peer Tutoring Center. With so many students and so many teachers that we need to reach, promotion of our program is a huge part of what we do in the Peer Tutoring Center. We must make sure that our teachers and our students are aware of the services that we offer. And to that end, we have a marketing lead who creates these beautiful videos and images that we push out to teachers on a weekly basis. We know that a service is only as good as the people who are using it, so we want to make sure that the teachers and the students are knowledgeable about the program that we're offering, that they understand how to access our resources, and that they understand the benefits of our resource. And you guys know, if it's difficult to use a resource, you're not going to use it. So we make it as easy as possible for the teachers to promote the program and for the students to learn about it. We're using the tools that the students are already accustomed to using with their teachers. We're using the same live classrooms, the same Blackboard Collaborate that they use within their classes for their teachers, and we're using the same Blackboard instant messaging program that they're using with their teacher and their classmates. By using these tools, we get rid of yet another roadblock that could be in our way. So now we've talked about how the Peer Tutoring Center does our peer tutoring, our content-specific support. I've shared with you about the Virtual Buddy program. Now, to share with you a little bit about our quick questions, I'm going to be sharing with you a video that is pretty awesome, I think. I don't have the skills to do it, but again, like the graphics and the other video, these were created by one of our peer tutors. It's going to be a real session. This is a true tutoring session that occurred by chance between two of our tutors. Not all of our tutors are expert in all areas, and our peer tutors do use the Peer Tutoring Center just like all of our students. So the video that I'm about to share with you is a real session between two of our tutors. I believe the subject is Algebra 2. It's a 3-minute, 33-second long video. We're only going to watch the first minute and 35 seconds. What you're going to be seeing is how the student and the tutor engage in Blackboard IM. We use the setup for help desks within Blackboard IM. Can you guys, let me clear the check marks, and then you give me your checks again. How many of you have used the help desk feature in Blackboard Collaborate's instant messaging program? Give me a check mark if you've used the help desk feature. I'm getting some red X's, a couple of red X's. Oh my goodness. Okay, so none of you have. Let me ask you another question. How many of you have used the teacher office hours feature of Blackboard Instant Messenger? Give me a green check mark if you've used the teacher office hours feature. Okay, we've got red X's again. That leads me to ask another question. How many of you have used the Blackboard Collaborate instant messaging program at all? Give me a check mark if you've used the instant messaging program. Oh my goodness, are you guys in for something? I'm so glad I asked this question. I'm so glad that I have this video to share with you. And I've got one green check mark, and let me see who that is. Well, Katie. I'm glad you checked that. The way Blackboard Instant Messenger works is just like any other messaging program that you've used. It's not that different from Facebook chat or any of the other instant messaging programs. It gives you the ability to text chat, just like we are in this classroom. It gives you the ability to video chat. You can audio chat. And you can also do whiteboard and application sharing. All incredible features if you want to even the playing field in a virtual environment. As I said before, when you're engaged with a student in the Blackboard Instant Messaging program and you're using the video and audio chat along with the whiteboard, there is no difference than you standing side by side in a classroom with these kids. And that's no joke, no exaggeration. You are able to accomplish the exact same things in a virtual world. The way the Blackboard Instant Messaging program is set up is it's linked to the courses in the learning management system. It's usually populated with just the teachers and the students in a single class. By using the help desk feature, we can set up all of our peer tutors in the help desk to be available to all of the students in our entire organization. So while we have our 60 peer tutors, we can staff all 20 to 30,000 of our students at one time. They're available and visible to all of our students. That is how we're able to connect our peer tutors with our student body. And I hope that kind of brings it home how this is actually able to take place. We would not be able to do this if it wasn't for tools like Blackboard Collaborate's Live Classroom and the Instant Messenger. So the video that I'm about to share with you is a time lapse of a 30-minute session. It's 30 minutes taken down to 33, and we're only going to watch the first minute, 35 seconds or so. It's going to show you how the student, Alex, engages in a chat session with Christine, the tutor. Okay? Now, Alex is also a peer tutor, but he legitimately came for this session with Christine, the other peer tutor. Like we did before, I'm going to copy and paste a link in the text chat. Click the link and watch the video. Once the video is over, come back here and give me your green check mark. I'm going to cut you off at about a minute 35, and I'll give you a word of warning. There is no audio to this, no speaking, but there is music. If you've got your volume turned up very high on your headset or your speakers, you might want to turn it down because the music is pretty bold. Okay, so I'm going to go grab that link and post it for you. So you guys are going to click on that link, and we're going to watch the first minute 35 of the video. Once you finish, once it's past a minute 35, come back to the classroom and give me a green check mark. Okay, my clock shows that we should be past that minute 35 mark, and I'm getting a few check marks. So if you'll all come back to the classroom, and if you did turn your volume down for the video, you might want to turn it back up. Now, the process that we use for our peer tutoring and our quick questions is the same. Our tutoring sessions and answering quick questions takes place within this Blackboard instant messaging program that you just saw demonstrated. Our tutors, again, are fully trained in how to use Blackboard Collaborate, the live classroom, and Blackboard Collaborate Instant Messenger. It's important that our tutors not only know the ethics of peer tutoring, but that they also know how to use the tools so that, like our teachers, they can be right there with the students and not let technology get in the way. Instead of letting technology get in the way, the tutors are going to be using technology to make the connections for the students. Again, it's just priceless. If you've not experienced Blackboard Collaborate's Instant Messenger, I would strongly encourage you to, because it can really make that connection that is missing for a lot of virtual classrooms, bringing the teacher and the student together, personalizing it so that students are able to communicate with each other, and then for services like our Peer Tutoring Center, it can make all the difference. Okay. The other service I wanted to share with you guys is about our live sessions, our Blackboard Collaborate sessions. What happens here is that, like I mentioned in the introduction, our tutors notice trends in what they're tutoring. Several students coming to them about the same topic. Or now that we're approaching AP exam time, we have a tutor that excelled in the AP exam and wants to offer a review session where they practice some, real application of what they've been learning in the classroom. The tutor will let me know that they're interested in hosting this kind of session, and I'll be in touch with the teachers to make sure that the content is appropriate. The tutor prepares all material, and that's an added benefit here. Our teachers are already going through the content of the course with the students. May or may not have worked the first time. Our tutors are creating their own instructional material that they use in the session. The session is then advertised using an image just like you see here to all of the students in that course. Now, one of our sessions that was offered by Gallagher in the AP Music Theory, not only was it offered to all the students who could attend live, but just like this session, it was archived. That archived session became a required assignment within the course. The students were required to have either attended the session live or watched the archive of the video. And I just want you to be as impressed as I am by these students, that the content of what they're sharing, the manner in which they present, is good enough that our teachers are feeling the need to make these assignments within the course, that they're requiring our students to attend. There's a reason that we've given leadership of our Peer Tutoring Center to these students. They are the best of the best. Their initiative is unsurpassed by any other group of students I've ever worked with. Once these sessions are archived, they can be used from class to class again, over and over. So we get benefits from them long into the future. But this is just another thing that the Peer Tutoring Center is doing for NCVPS. I also told you about the student who wanted to be an editor. She got her feet wet doing this with our Tutor Talk blog. The experience that she had blogging for us at NCVPS helped. She gives full credit. I say that it helped her to get a full scholarship to Queens College in Charlotte. This is well over $100,000 payoff, and she credits it to the experience that she had with NCVPS's Peer Tutoring Center, being something unique that none of the other students who applied for the scholarship were able to claim. So while we can't reward these students monetarily for the volunteer time that they put in for us, we do sign off on their volunteer service requirements for their brick and mortar schools. We support the Presidential Volunteer Service Award. We submit their information so that they can get the medallions and letters associated with that. Each year we recognize 4 students for the Ronald Reagan Leadership Award. They're also recognized for their volunteer commitment from June Atkinson, the North Carolina State Superintendent of Schools. And then, like I said, the career experience that they're getting. We complete dozens and dozens of recommendations for these students for scholarships, for college, for jobs. I could go on and on about how impressive the accomplishments of these students are, but I think if you take a look at the program, you could see not what it's done for us at NCVPS, but what it might be able to do for you at your school. We do have a social media presence. There's the link for our Facebook page. So if you're on Facebook, we'd love for you to click on our link here and give us a like. You can also see some more of our promotional items there on our Facebook page. This is one more way that we also entertain questions from students. Honestly, some of our school systems do block Blackboard Instant Messenger, and since that's the main way we connect with students, we offer them alternatives. If they're on Facebook, they could pop a question into our Facebook, send us a private message, and we'll be able to get to them that way. This is one more thing that our students felt a need to have. They said, you know, we want to be where the students are, so this is where we are. As many ways as we can make that connection with students, whether it be the Blackboard Collaborate Live Classroom, Instant Messenger, email, writing blogs on Blogger, or being on social media. We want to make sure that the students are aware of the program that we offer. The last thing that I want to leave you with about the Peer Tutoring Center, we're back to the slide where you see the faces of NCVPS's peer tutors. I want you to understand that NCVPS is a school with upwards of 50,000 student enrollments a semester. That's huge as far as any school goes, and even as far as virtual schools go. When I look at these faces, there's nothing virtual about it. There's a personal relationship here with each one of these students who have tutored with us. Not only am I forming a personal relationship, they're forming personal relationships with the dozens of students that they work with. In the case of our Peer Tutoring Center, virtual is not an obstacle. Technology is not a barrier. It's the virtual aspect and the technology that's helping us overcome obstacles, that's helping us take down barriers so that students can engage with their content, so that they can engage with their classmates and go so much further than just the content of the classroom. I want to leave you with two things before we take questions. A story about the student who created these beautiful graphics. This student came to us at 16, full-time virtual student who had a lot of things going against him at the time. Very shy, very unassuming. He found a home in the Peer Tutoring Center in the anonymity of a virtual environment, and he flourished beyond all belief. Within a year of creating a graphics forum, I attended the Virtual School Symposium sponsored by iNACOL and shared about the Peer Tutoring Center. The graphics that he created for that presentation won him paid contracts to develop graphics for NCVPS. If you guys were to pop over to the NCVPS website right now, those graphics that you're seeing were created by a student, a high school student, who because of the recognition from his work with the Peer Tutoring Center has many graphic design contracts right now. He's gotten the notice of the Department of Public Instruction here in North Carolina and has even presented to the State Board of Education about his experiences. We've got student volunteers who have gone on to college to be peer tutors at the college level and then later on to become teachers. When you work with students in your classroom, you're affecting lives. With a program like the Peer Tutoring Center, for every one of those students' faces that you see right there, I'm helping to impact their lives, and they go on to impact the lives of dozens of other students. It's one more way for me to give back, and it's one more way for these students to give back. So as I leave you with one more video, I want you to consider the benefit that a program like this could be to you, to your students, and for those incredible young people who volunteer to staff it for you. The last video I'm going to show before we start to take questions, I think it's 1 minute long. One of the other things that we do to recognize our tutors for excellence, each month we have a peer tutor of the month. We present an award to that student, and in this case the award went to a student named Amanda. During that same meeting we asked Amanda to share with us what peer tutoring meant to her. So the words that you hear, the voice that you hear speaking is Amanda, a peer tutor. The words you see on the screen are the text from what she said during that meeting. And her audio, that text, and the music was all put together by another one of our tutors. And this 1-minute video says it better than I ever could. So I want you to take 1 minute and watch this final video. This is a SchoolTube link, so it should be clear for all schools to view. So again, once I post the link, click on the link, watch the video. It's 1 minute. When the video is finished, come back to us and click that green check mark so I know that you're ready. And again, these are peer tutors' view of what peer tutoring is.
It really is important to tutor people in depth. You have to make sure that whoever you're tutoring understands what you're talking about. There are people who can somehow make it up to a place where they don't know what they're doing. So you kind of have to build it up from the basics. Start out, and then if you end up tutoring them later, you'll also find that they actually get things faster and they actually remember what you're doing. And it's just because teachers get tutoring, 25 students in a class on it, so they don't have time to go through whoever they're talking to, and they can't spend 2 hours on one student. But that's what the peer tutoring center is for.
Okay, I've gotten a few, now several check marks, and time should have been long enough for you to have viewed the video. That's what I have to share with you right now. Do you guys have any questions about the program, how it works, how we started, or anything?
I love this picture of all the peer tutors, Crystal. This is great. So Crystal is opening up for questions. I see some of you are typing in the chat. You can use *6 to unmute on your phone. You can use your talk button, or you can type questions in the chat, but we'd love to answer any additional questions that you have. Crystal, we're getting lots of great feedback in the chat. Patty says she loves this idea. Thank you. Maria, thank you. She's got to head out. Okay. While we're waiting for additional questions to come in, I'll go ahead and wrap with a couple last slides, but please keep questions and comments coming. Just a reminder, this session, along with the other sessions in the series, will be on the BBK12 Live app soon, so please be sure to download that app for professional development on demand. We hope you'll consider joining us in July in Washington, D.C. for Blackboard World, and the call for proposals is open for a couple more days, so get your submissions in there. Again, if you've got ideas for this series or you'd like to present, reach out to me on Twitter at @1KatieGallagher, or by email, katie.gallagher@blackboard.com. We appreciate everyone taking their time out to join us today for the session. And Crystal, this is very unique and very interesting. I loved hearing about how you're using Blackboard Instant Messaging. For everyone on the call, the Blackboard Instant Messaging feature, I know a lot of you weren't that familiar with it, but it is a core part of our primary teaching and learning solution, the Innovative Classroom, that combines Blackboard Learn, Blackboard Collaborate, Explore, and Instant Messaging. So really exciting to hear the innovative ways that you're using it and how you're really providing that great experience both to the students who are being tutored and those who are serving as peer tutors. So this was really awesome, Crystal. Thank you so much. Crystal, are you there?
I'm here. I believe that Kimberly has a question that's better suited for you to answer.
Oh, great. Great. Yes, let me find a link for you, Kim. I'm going to put 2 links in the chat for you. One for our Innovative Classroom solution. It's a comprehensive teaching and learning solution that brings together Blackboard Learn, Blackboard Collaborate, Explore, and Blackboard Collaborate Instant Messaging. But I'll also send you the link for more information on our instant messaging tool. Here we go. All right. Well, thank you so much, Crystal, and thanks everyone for joining us today. With that, we'll call it a day, and everyone will get 6 minutes back. This was a really great presentation. Thank you so much, Crystal.